Welcome back to episode 4 of the Billable Mile. So let's dive into the last week of training. Monday was the classic recovery run. Did feel fatigued from last week, but my left leg is finally feeling better after running on the beach. Tuesday was a hill day, which I'd kind of been avoiding for a long time, but I finally knocked this workout out. Grateful I got it done. It was hard. You can see my little charts here. We just gradually went up the hill. I was definitely sore the next day. It was a little bit slower than the last time that I did it, but I was a little bit more consistent across my splits. The biggest temptation for me is to start thinking about other things during the intervals when I'm climbing up the hill. I start to reach for things at work I might be thinking about, things I've been reading about. For me, I think about Mind in Boat, which comes from the book Boys in the Boat, about the rowing crew from Washington that eventually went on to win the Olympics. And I love that motto because when things get hard, I just think mind in boat, focus on what I'm doing right now. Don't focus on how it hurts, but just keep pushing. Wednesday was my new shoe day. I was really excited about these, the On Cloud Eclipses. I'd been vacillating a long time on what kind of recovery shoe I wanted to get. I wanted something softer that was just going to be able to take a lot of miles. The heels feel really soft, and the shoe as a whole just feels great. Thursday, I set my alarm for 4:40 p.m. instead of 4:40 a.m. That was a big disappointment, but we got the miles in. I was really excited about that. Jess was so supportive to let me go at 8:30 that night after we had everything figured out for the day. And when I ran at night, there's just so many people on the streets, especially here in Kailua. It feels busy at night. I'm worried I'm gonna get ran over. I do feel a little self-conscious running in my spandex and singlet. I don't love having a lot of people around when I'm running, and I really started to miss the desert in southern Idaho because I used to do all my runs just by myself in the desert, and it was great. I love training in the desert. I miss that a lot. But the weather's so good here, so I really can't complain about that. Friday was a new sock day. Still absolutely adore the Saucony Endorphin Speed 4s. They have been great tempo threshold shoes. I just feel like as soon as I start to pick up the pace, where I hope to see myself running a marathon, they work so well. This day of training was also kind of big for me because I stayed up very late the night before working on an article I'm supposed to submit at the end of this week. Didn't know if I was going to be able to wake up and do my run, but because I'd slept in the day before, I think I had a little bit more sleep in the bank so I could make do with less sleep this one night. So we'll see how this fire drill of sorts prepares me for potentially private practice when I have to pull an all-nighter or work later, and to know if I can still get up and run the next morning. Saturday was a long run, and my Super Blast 2s have been stellar long run shoes. I love grabbing those the morning of the long run and just throwing tons of miles on them. It was rainy, it was a really pretty morning. It just helped build my confidence, just an incremental confidence booster. I did a Morton before I started a 160. I did an SIS about 5 miles in, and then Honey Stinger Waffle at 8 miles. And then I did 12 Swedish Fish at mile 12. The Honey Stinger Waffles and the Swedish Fish went down a little tough without water, so I'm working on thinking about how I can carry water with me in a way that is not going to be burdensome for long periods of time. So that concludes the week of training. So I waxed pretty philosophical, but maybe I ought to point to one or two things. It was fun this week. Watching Jensen ride his bike after we went to go get donuts was fantastic. We always go and look for abandoned tennis balls we find in the tennis courts, so it's fun to hear him say the word abandoned. One highlight this week was going through the car wash together as a family after we vacuumed it out. Our car's just a sandbox from the beach, so we only took one layer of sand out, but we went in the car wash together, and Callan just loves being up front with us, so it's fun to watch him play up there. And I think that's it. We'll see you back next week.
Break a